Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a premium hard question in the database category that I just solved on my own. So I'm super happy about this and I'm very glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this problem without any assistance. So let me show you how I did it. This is number 1127 user purchase platform. The question is pretty simple, but there's a lot of different pieces of information to keep track of, and it can get a little messy, at least the way I did it. But I'm still going to be showing you my own solution and my own approach. So basically, you want to write the solution to find the total number of users and the total amount spent using mobile only, desktop only, and both mobile and desktop for each date. So each date, that's the keyword right there. So for each date, let's go ahead and first let's segregate everything else by date. So let's append all these pieces of information and use just the date as the key to a dictionary. So let's go step by step here. Let's create a default dict type list. So for I, S, in enumerate, spending, spend date. And just to make this a little more pretty, we're just going to format it. And let's say string s.split of 0, and then d of f, we're just going to get the other information, like for example the user ID, the platform, and the amount. Amount of I. Cool. So now let's go over our dictionary. So now this is where things start getting a little messy. So we want to see how many users, let's first count the number of users that were desktop only. Okay, so that means that they didn't purchase anything other than a desktop. So let's use another dictionary. Let's call this users, and let's make a set because we want to segregate them and we want to count the number of users. So desktop users, user counts, mobile user count, and then both user count. Okay, so basically let's call this now. So for n in now, so for each sublist, we're going to use the user, and basically we're going to say users of n of 0. We're going to add n of 1 because we're just going to go over this now for u and users. Let's print u users u. You can see for 1 they did both, so that's why the both count is increased. So we're going to go through each user, and let's say let's call this cu, just for lack of better words. So if desktop is in cu, because this is going to be unique, because this is a unique key in a dictionary, and mobile is in cu, then both user count plus equals to 1. Otherwise, if it's only mobile, if mobile is in cu and desktop is not in cu, that's how you know it's mobile only. Then you can say mobile user count plus equals to 1. Otherwise, if desktop is inside and mobile is not in cu, then let's see, what is it called? Desktop user count plus equals to 1. Cool. So now we have it doesn't really matter which order we return it in. So we have the both user count, the mobile user count, and the desktop user count. Okay. User count. Okay, so 111, 011, it lines up perfectly. Cool. So now we want the actual total amount, which is going to be the amount that user spent in total. So let's call this amount spent. That's default dict of type integer, and we're just going to move this here because we're going to just tally up how much that user spent. So if this user is only for mobile only, then we want to count the total, everything that user ever spent, because I couldn't have spent anything for desktop. For example, for 2 never spent anything for desktop, so everything that 2 ever has, we're just going to tally up all how much money they spent. So now let's just say amount spent of n of 0. We're just going to add n of -1 because that's going to be the amount spent. And then let's make 3 variables called both amounts, right? Just making sure I didn't use that already. Okay, so mobile amounts and desktop amounts. Cool. So now it gets a little bit challenging because we have to identify which users, which I think we already did here, so that's good. Let's print u users u. So, cool. So if, okay, so if desktop in CU, so let's call this CU again. So if they're both and mobile in CU, then we can say both amounts. We're going to add what? We're going to add the amount spent of for that particular user because it has both and we want to get all the money they ever spent. Okay. Otherwise, if mobile is in CU and desktop not in CU, then the mobile amount, we're going to add amount spent of U. Last but not least, desktop in CU and mobile not in CU, then desktop amount plus equals to amount spent of U. So now let's print both amounts, mobile amount and desktop amount. Okay, that should line up with what we see. Okay, awesome. So both mobile, desktop. And now we can basically just gather our answers. So basically we want to append the date, which is just K, and then the actual platform, which let's just do it in both orders because we have both, mobile, desktop. It doesn't matter. So let's just say both. And we're going to append the both amounts and then the both user account. And then we're going to do the same thing for mobile only. So mobile, we're doing this row for this particular date. Let's say m user account and then m amount. Last but not least, for desktop, D user account, and then D amount. Cool. Just a lot of different things to keep track of here. And cool. So now if we print answer, we can validate our work. Awesome. So now we just gather the results, make 4 columns. Okay. One.append A0, A1, A2, A3, set an empty data frame, set the spend date to 1, platform to 2, total amount to 3, total users to 4, and then return it, the data frame. So let's run this, submit it, and there you go, passes all test cases. So again, I'm super glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help and solve it completely on my own. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.